All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I have a little bit of a busy day today, so I am making this video during live trading hours, okay? It is not 4 o'clock Eastern. It is not 1 p.m. Pacific. You will see the candle move. You will see percents move as I speak, okay? This is a viewer request video here. We're going to look at QS, as you see on the screen right here. We'll take a look at IMPP. I'll take a look at MVIS, and then if I got time, I really want to talk about NUTX as well, okay? So today was a big day on QS. What really sucks is I prepped some stuff to talk about oil, but I'm going to lose it right now because I want to talk about QS. Look, I talked about it early this morning. I talked about it a couple hours after. I talked about it just an hour, not even an hour ago, 20 minutes ago. QS did the job today, and more than anything, I think it was on the second one, there was some real news. We're talking about Volkswagen here, man. Volkswagen is more than just the VW bug, right? And you're going to see some alerts go off too. I probably should have deleted those, whatever. You'll see the alerts. Again, any alerts are not immediate buys, and I'm not even going to like pause these things to buy anything, all right? Today was big. Today was a big technical thing. Today was a big news-driven thing, and I'm excited to talk about this one, all right? For IMPP, again, you saw it before I made the move. We were talking about oil today. Yes, perfect, beautiful. There was some headlines about oil falling because of some reserves. There was a daily chart of oil being flashed, and you can see there's an interesting resistance going on. IMPP, I don't know how much that one really is tied to oil. I know the word petroleum's in that stock, right? But I don't know too much about the company. I'm assuming oil is going to move that one, right? So that's at least my connection with that. MVIS, I haven't seen in a few days. I know SoundHound didn't take a great move. I don't know if MVIS is copying that one or not. And then again, if I've got time, I want to talk about NUTX, okay? So all that said, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance line, as well as the occasional diagonal trend line that I do draw manually myself. That'll also make, you can see it way more when I zoom out, right? And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, throwing me your comments, I am so grateful for it all, okay? So QS, look, there is so much to talk about on today's big candle. We're already pushing well over 40%. Before I talk about the immediate, I want to zoom out a little bit, all right? And I mainly want to look at 2023 as a whole. So, you know, it's crazy because, again, I very much remember this run into the teens, all right? It's really easy to look at it and be like, man, we were all the way up here and now we find ourselves down here, obviously before the crazy day today, right? Like literally as of yesterday, this thing was a $6 stock, right? It's easy to be like, dang, we went from 15 to 6, almost half of it gone, right? But this isn't a bad year. As you just kind of look at it, I know it's not a crazy big percentage, but you know, I think AI got a lot. The AI sector made a good amount of money because of a thing called ChatGPT, right? Like, I don't think AI by any means is better, more important than quantum stocks. Obviously, they're very integrated, right? But I don't think quantum really had its magical moment yet, right? Like, there hasn't been any super crazy, like, supercomputer stuff. There's just things I think about where like quantum stuff should be like applied, and it's not happening. Believe me, I know I sound really stupid, right? Saying stuff like quantum stuff and things like, I'm not pretending to be educated in the field, right? But yeah, it seems like this hasn't had its moment just yet. Today, Today could arguably be the moment, all right? When I think of the entire quantum stock sector, that's a hard one to say, QS is probably the first one I think about. So when QS is able to drop the hammer like it did today, big things happen. And actually, before I start here, I want to come down here. There's still a full hour of trading left, okay? It's easier to see it on the weekly. You can't see it on the weekly. That was dumb because that's an addition of all the days, right? So this is not a stock that's been around for a long time, okay? Today, we are pushing 92 million shares. Like I said, with another hour to go, right? We might add another 10% to that, maybe another 9 million shares, and actually push this over 1 million shares today. The second day of trading, that candle right there, you can see it was a volume of 86 million, all right? This horrible day right here was a volume, nope, not that one. I think it's the next one. Boom, give me one more. There we go. Was a volume of 84 million. You can see it close to the bottom. These were the two biggest volume days in the entire history of it. Not anymore. Today is. Today, and we still have an hour to go. Again, I think we're going to hit 100K. So 100 million shares today, right? Today is the biggest day on QS. Today is the day that it beautifully breaks all five and starts to fly. Today, look, it's not necessarily today because it's kind of been happening. All right, so let me show you what I'm going to do as I extend it. I'm basically going from this corner to that corner, right? So I just really want to make sure we maintain that corner as I extend it. Going up, going up, going up. Right there. You can see we're basically still on it. It held because again, you can see it, right? We went from this point here to this one attempt here. It actually got over, right? But ever since that one attempt, it's failed. It held the line. It held the moving average. Actually, that's not even true. I'm lying. We fell these last couple days, right? And again, that's what I wanted to talk about. NASDAQ wasn't doing good the last few days. It arguably isn't doing well today either, right? We're going below and below and below the 8 and the 20, and that's not good on a single stock, let alone the NASDAQ, right? So it makes sense that QS did go down with this, right? So as bad as this kind of looked, I'm very much taking it as, you know what, it's copying the NASDAQ. These are all five lines very, very tight. You know, I often talk about it goes to the top, goes to the bottom, goes to the top. Like there's a little bit of like a tornado effect when they're this tight, right? The Volkswagen news was next level. Like VW owns so many different car brands. VW is more than just the little bug, you know what I mean? And this green, 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 red, 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 red really became green, 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 green on a single go. You know what I mean? Like this thing pretty much ran to that 1025 line on a single day, right? And again, on the weekly, you can see it. Today's single day is bigger than most entire weeks, you know? So, I mean, I can't stress that I don't think quantum stocks have had their moment. The fact that they were able to do something with a battery, I think will go a long way. And I'm going to be real honest with you. Maybe this has absolutely nothing to do with quantum computers and quantum this and that. It just happens to have the word quantum in it. For real, I'm okay with that. I really think that like the word quantum in the front might help bring up, like IonQ is another one that comes to mind. Let me just flash that. I'm actually more curious about that myself. IonQ, where are you? Interesting. I think, I don't know. I don't want to make a dumb correlation because I'm not pretending I don't know the quantum sector well. You know what I mean? But this is big and hopefully this carries for the rest, okay? What's my expectation for tomorrow? Okay, look. We're either gonna come down right there. That's a little high. No. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Sorry. Where are you at? That's a little low. I like that. Okay. I think I like that 830 I initially clicked on, 840. Look, I think there's a shot that this comes down to 830, maybe 840 tomorrow. I think that's a decent low end range. 1025 is the next line that matters to me, because if we can break this 1025, I mean it's a very fast. Ooh, I zoomed in too much. Sorry. Let me take it. just red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, green. Like there's a very fast up and down that happens in this next 20% right here. And then almost the same thing can be said. Maybe there's a line to be drawn right there at like 14 something. Look, I don't want you to be thinking about 14 just yet. Okay, this is just a single day. We've seen big candles go down very quickly, right? So I really like the Volkswagen news though. I feel like there's more. And hey, it wasn't that long ago that the RSI was pushing high 80s. Wasn't that long ago. It actually just got up to 82. We're only at 70. There actually might be more tomorrow. This thing might even come to 1125 tomorrow. I like this. I love a stock that's over all 5. That's where it is. I love a stock that try to get over, gets over too, right? Like it's not just like it was some one single random pop. Like it's been testing this thing for a minute. Again, I think the news is very, very real. Where are we on the weekly? Oh man, look at that weekly. 100 moving average is what stopped us. It wasn't even the gap right here. It actually wasn't even the gap. It was the 100 on the weekly, like to the dot, it looks like, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing closes around 926. We're at 940 right now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we go down just a little bit, let that 100, and man, that same thing hit right here. I know it looks like it's a bit away, like July wasn't like around the corner by any means, right? But I like that we've tried to hit it and we're kind of right back at it. Man, I like this. QS, it's hard to not like it, and it seems like this thing wants more, actually. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, even if you disagree. Let's come into IMPP, and IMPP has been crushing it. And, you know, I know Mr. Onion has been talking about oil. Look, on middle of December, oil is up. Boom. Oil, talking about it in late November, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that's essentially where this thing starts to take off, right? Like, let me see if there was a chart on this one that he threw down. He did not. But again, you can see we've actually been talking about oil for a minute on the Discord. And again, that's essentially where this thing goes. Look, looking at the technicals alone, there's actually a few things that are jumping out, right? Let's just take away the Discord comments. The first thing really is this lovely volume down here. Look, I am not a fan when, let's zoom in. This is perfect. The line is actually, it doesn't even do it. I thought there'd be more of a little bit of a pull right here. It's a dumb, I don't need to waste a couple minutes on there. I don't like it when there's a consistent inability to hit this white 50-day line, okay? This is the average volume for the last 50 days. This is the average. This is not above average. This is not exceptional. This is literally the top of the bell curve, the C student in the class, right? We're well below that, and it sucks. It kills a stock. It basically kept this thing completely horizontal, right? When you can start getting above average volume, when the above average volume is more green buying and holding days than it is selling off red days, that happens quickly. When you can break the 100, the goal is you're going to head on up to the 200. And I mean, man, this thing did it. And what I love is this thing used the 8 moving average like a champ. I mean, I love these lines, and this is a beautiful example of why. And look, literally the same thing I just said on QS. You break off 5 and you fly. This thing is trying to fly. All right, I mean, we've literally red turned into beautiful green, and really it mainly happened right there. Right? Like that was the first attempt at filling it. That was the second attempt, a whole mess of nothing. We not only break the 100 moving average, but we break what I kind of call the gap fill border, right? Like this is the borderline between down here and up here, right? And even this, I guess this kind of ended up being the 200. So that's why it kind of became insignificant. Even the bottom of that, I guess a little baby horizontal. But yeah, even this single big candle in that gap couldn't stop this thing, right? The one thing to call out though, and again, I'm not one that pretends to follow oil, but this is a loud chart to me. We're at a very clear resistance here, right? We try to break it, 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 we're trying again to break it. Is it going to happen? I really don't know. I'm not a big fan of this headline. Like, if you have these massive reserves, obviously, if you have more supply, you're going to make things cheaper, right? You want demand high, supply low, right? So I'm not here pretending to really know the overall, like, macro world of oil. I like a stock that breaks moving averages and fills gaps, right? And in a lot of ways, you can say that there's another one brewing, right? So let me draw the line right here. That is where I would draw the line. Then let me draw the next one. Is it you guys? I like that. Yeah, just a little higher. I think that's our line. From here to here, all I'm really seeing is red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, red. Like there's a very fast moving one right there. Maybe this 3 line, 310, might be something, but I'm not going to lie. I don't really see it being a big resistance. I actually don't want to draw that line. I think it's these two, all right? I know RSI looks a little high, but I mean, look at this thing. We were knocking on the door at a 95 RSI. And look, from here it was 92, 92, 89, 87, 95, 84. Like this thing is living in the high 90s, right? So normally I would say, yeah. And wasn't that long ago we were doing the same thing right here, right? So, there are some really good technical things happening on top of really good momentum, on top of a very nice oil move that we've been, like I said, been talking about since that late November run that this thing mimicked, right? So what's the weekly looking like? Oh, man. And I like my lines. I do, because that's basically right on the top. Yeah, those are I'm good with those lines. The 100 is just forming. Look, yes, we are physically over the 50 moving average, but I'm not seeing a confirmation just yet. That's a good candle. That's not confirmation. This is starting to be a good candle. Let's even pretend it ends as a good candle. I need back to back. So I would need next week to confirm as well. But again, this thing, there's a lot to like. On the weekly, the RSI doesn't get too much higher. So that's something to consider, but that's only one little factor among many, right? IMPP, I'm liking this, and really it seems like it wants more. I think it wanted more than just this little fill right here. Now, do I think we're going to start making the big climb to 5 and beyond? Look, I think it's a little too early to discuss that. I think 4 on its own is going to be a rather big challenge, but hey, we're sub 3. If we can go from near 3 to near 4, you're talking about what? At least a 33% move, right? Give or take adding $1 on a stock that doesn't even have 3, right? So don't think 5 just yet. The move to 4 would bring really nice gains in the early year, all right? I think that's it on this one. Yeah, we talked about the weekly, we talked about. Let me know if you have any other thoughts and opinions. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you have better overall oil thoughts than I do as well. I would love to hear that, okay? Oh, MVIS, interesting day. Interesting day. Okay, again, I touched on it a little bit earlier. Look, NASDAQ's not doing well. Okay, we went into the year, we went into the 24 year, I mean, thinking really good things, right? And all of a sudden, lo and behold, NASDAQ's losing the 8, losing the 20, kind of making me think we're going to come into this kind of horizontal area, right? So when you see a NASDAQ like this, when you see the MACD not looking good, the RSI not looking good, volume not looking good, look, that's scary, okay? And again, that's inclusive of today. That's an interesting candle we see right there on MVIS today, okay? Now, granted, we are not back over the 8. We are trying to get over the 20. That's an interesting day because I am actually surprised we didn't end up coming down here to that 240 range, okay? I like the fact that we're still actually keeping a good distance away from the 100 moving average. Because again, I know they're not the same company, right? But Soundhound and MVIS have kind of been going in unison a bit. This is actually back in the wrath of the 100 moving average, right? Like this one's been doing the oscillating on that as opposed to MVIS, which made the escape and has been really oscillating on the 8 and the 20 as the 8 and the 20 are going up. And the other thing I talked about was that 50 seemingly coming up and actually surpassing that 100, right? So some of me even feels, hey, this 50 will come into play before we're back to the mercy of the 100 moving average, right? Did my computer freeze? Something's frozen. Dang, I'm imagining it's going to come back either way. I've got something decent going right here that I'll talk about a little bit more. I don't know how much I can flip. Dang, that's really disappointing. Again, what I really need is to get to this area right here. And obviously I can't click into it and see what it means. Oh, did I just freeze? Dang, hold on. I got to save this just in case my email comes. Hold on. Okay, I am back. That was a weird glitch. I'm glad I paused though. Okay, so what do I need? Look, this thing needs to get back into that 268 range. 267, 268, 269, right? Like make me all look, the last thing I want to do is actually play ping pong between up here and down here. Now listen, there is money to be made if you're a swing trader and you basically ride it up here, unload it, watch it go down here, load up, watch it go back up, unload, and you just do that. I'm not a fan of that. I want the stock to break this line and I want it to just go up, up, up. We know MVIS knows what to do above all five, okay? Again, I kind of said the same thing on a different stock. I know June wasn't necessarily around the corner, like it's been a decent number of months, but that's not that long ago in terms of the charts. It made that run. I don't know if it's going to go that high again, but dude, even if we take like 50% of it roughly, we're talking about a move from 3 to 4 something. That's way, way more than a 33% move, and that's a very, very good move if it comes, right? So for me, again, it's all about that 290 line. Get me over that 200 moving average, right? It's sitting at 291 right now. Get me back over the 8 and the 20. I am so glad we're going away from that 100 moving average. That is for sure. Volume's been a little weak, all right? We ended the year rather strong. There were more breaks of that 50 line than there were misses. Now we're kind of doing the opposite, right? And what looked like a ramp up of volume is now kind of becoming this like ramp down of volume, right? So need a little bit more action here. And I mean, look, the 50-day average volume is actually going up, right? So even the average started to notice, hey, we're no longer down here. We're thinking of actually going up, and you don't want the line going back down because of no volume, right? So volume is king, you know that. So MACD and RSI have some bad divergence. I'm seeing red over green on both, but again, I think to me, most of the story is up here than it is down here, minus that volume comment I made, all right? I don't think we looked at the weekly yet. Dude, it's all about that 290 line. And then look, that 331 basically is, oh, I zoomed in too much. It's exactly where the 100 moving average sits. It's sitting at 330, right? So off by a penny, but yeah, I think those are the next two lines right there. Hey, when is earnings? Let me see if I can see it on my phone real quick. Let me be quick. MVIS, do I see it? Come on, baby, sorry. When's your earnings? I don't see an earnings headline here. Let me know. The one cool thing is I did see that there was a headline about revenue guidance reaffirmed. Hey, that's a good thing. I'm not pretending that's not a good thing, right? But I need that official call before I feel good about it, right? So again, I would call this one a little bit more of a mixed bag, right? Like, I am not crazy bullish. There is nothing screaming crazy bearish, scary things. And in a lot of ways, this is actually holding up a little bit better than the NASDAQ overall, and definitely better than SoundHound, all right? So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'm going to throw this one in there. Again, I don't know if I'm going to make 2 videos or not, so let me just get this in there. NUTX. Okay, first of all, that's a very silly ticker name, all right? I am a almost 40-year-old man when I look at my age and reflect on what the truth of the numbers are, all right? That said, I'm a very silly person, and NUTX is a very silly ticker name, all right? NUTX is something that makes me think the meme army will come to for no reason other than the fact that the name of the stock is NUTX, okay? There's some technical things happening today. You know what, wicks are not a significant thing to me. I need a full candle closing over lines. This thing just got over the 50. This thing just retested the 50. This thing is now testing the 50 again. All the while, the 100 moving average is coming closer and closer to it. There's a lot going on at this 22-cent line. If we can break the 100 moving average, which just look at it, excuse me, you can argue we've never broken, right? Ooh, excuse me on the hiccups. We get over it, can't confirm. We're still over it, can't confirm. We get over it, can't confirm. Haven't been over it, near it, or anything since, right? That said, today was an interesting one. Today is another one of the multiple interesting ones on the 50 moving average. And one thing I'm seeing, and you can see it easier as I zoom up, since here, say even since here, there's actually been a decent amount of buying, okay? Now, I think you can argue that this 4-day span might have been these people selling it. So normally what I like to see is more greens, way less reds, and that makes me think people are buying and holding. Maybe these ones bought and flipped. There's been an accumulation the last couple days, all right? So I'm curious to see what next week brings. Are they just going to kind of keep flipping it all? And overall, it's all about the 100 moving average. If this thing breaks the 100, oh man, there is, let me just draw the line just to draw it, right? Like, I'm going to delete that one. But red, 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 green, 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 red, red, red. Oh, that could bring a real nice move into this 30-ish cent range. If not, maybe into the only real horizontal here, right? So maybe this will stop at around 28 cents. But hey, again, we're talking about 23 to 28. That's only a couple pennies, but that's actually a pretty big move, actually. It's a double-digit move. So NUTX, funny name. MACD is almost positive. RSI still kind of healthy. There's some interesting things happening here, all right? And again, look at the weekly. If this thing can get over the 20, there's a lot of room for, there's a lot of red that can turn to green. RSI's been going up. MACD is trying to get to the positive. It never has been before. This is an interesting one. This is one at least that's worth your eye, all right? So let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as always, hey, thank you.